So I got a new Blu-ray shelf a couple days ago. My movies have been sitting on the floor for the longest time in assorted boxes, but I finally got a shelf, and I've gotten about 40 new movies since my last pickup update video. So I'm going to show you guys those and go for those. Starting with the Godfather trilogy. I've only seen the first one. It's a really good movie. I do feel it was a little overhyped for me, but it's still a great movie nonetheless, and definitely worth having in a collection. The Rocky film, the collection, I had not owned any of them, but I wanted to finish off the series, so I got to pick that one up. We Bought a Zoo. I had seen this years ago. I wanted to revisit it, and I found it for like $4, so figured why not. And that same thing goes for Tower Heist, a film I remember having a lot of fun with when it was in theaters, but I wanted to revisit it. I'm a big fan of everybody involved, particularly Ben Stiller. The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo is another David Fincher film. The cinematography is really good, the performances, the direction. There are some moments that are really disturbing that some people will be bothered by, but it's a really good movie nonetheless. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close is a film that a friend had said good things about. I had heard critically, I heard really bad things, but it seemed intriguing to me, and for $4, figured why not. And then I got a lenticular of The Cabin in the Woods. Really fun take on the horror genre, and I really enjoyed it. The Artist is a film that won Best Picture. I've been wanting to see this for a while, so I figured why not. The Day After Tomorrow is a over-the-top disaster movie, and I really wanted to see this, so for a cheap price, I figured why not. From Dusk Till Dawn, this was a blind buy. This is a very interesting film, how one half of it is more of like a crime film, and the second half it turns into a vampire film. No, a vampire film, but very interesting movie. I don't know if it entirely worked for me, but I'll keep it here for now. And Unknown, I picked this up because I am a big fan of Liam Neeson movies, and I have not seen this film yet. And the director Hamed Kouetsera did like Non-Stop and recently The Commuter, and I enjoyed both of those films, so I figured I should pick this one up so I can check that one out. Sherlock Holmes, I don't remember anything about this movie, but I wanted to give it a second watch, so I picked it up. The Mission Impossible trilogy, the original 3 films, I already owned 4 and 5, but I didn't own the first 3, so I figured why not? I'll pick that one up so I can finish off the series because I want to rewatch them before Fallout this summer. The Departed, a really good Martin Scorsese film. I don't know how rewatchable it is, but I'm not always the hugest fan of Scorsese's films, but it is a really good film and definitely worth having in the collection. Up in the Air is a fantastic movie. I just rewatched it a couple nights ago and gave it like a solid 4.5 out of 5. I think the performances were all excellent, and while it does drag at times, it is overall a fantastic film and should definitely check it out. The Descendants, I've only seen this once. I wanted to give it a second watch, but I remember it being a really good movie, and I really like this cover work. AI, Artificial Intelligence, Steven Spielberg film I have yet to see, and I really wanted to check that out. Die Hard, really fun action film. I know I'm in the minority, but I do not consider this a Christmas movie. Feel free to debate me, but please keep it civil, but I don't think it's a Christmas movie just because there's some decorations and music. I don't consider it a Christmas movie. And A Nightmare on Elm Street, one of my favorite all-time horror films. While it's not super scary, anymore. I do feel like it's really solidly suspenseful. The sequels kind of turned into, some of them kind of turned into comedies, especially the second one, and what didn't contain that much suspense at all, but the first one is really great. I also picked up lenticulars for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows in 3D, part 1 and part 2. These originally were going for $30, but I managed to get them for $4, so I figured why not, because I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter films. And I picked up the original X-Men trilogy at Walmart, and I think this is a really, these first 3 films are really good. I just watched them in the last 2 weeks for the first time, and I really enjoyed them. Right there along the other X-Men films, but also X-Men Apocalypse. I do feel this is underrated. A lot of people give this film a lot of hate, and I don't think it entirely deserves that hate. So you should. I really enjoyed it. It's not a perfect movie, but yeah, the timeline doesn't make sense, but hey. And then I got Professor Marston and the Wonder Woman, a really fantastic biopic. Not enough people saw this film, but it's really good. Next up is Brigsby Bear, a film that a friend introduced to me, and it's actually a really good movie. And yeah, it's very strange and bizarre, but in the best way. Not for everybody. I would highly recommend you check it out. It's got a lot of heart to it. Deep Blue Sea. This is not necessarily a good movie, but it's definitely very much of a B movie, and definitely a big guilty pleasure. And Samuel L. Jackson, yeah. I got Lethal Weapon Collection, a really solid action buddy cop series. I recently watched them all on Netflix, and for the most part, I really enjoyed them. I do feel the later ones I enjoyed more, which is, I know it's the unpopular opinion, but still really solid movies. And Spirited Away, a Studio Ghibli film. I have been trying to get into these anime films because I know my favorite YouTuber, Chris Stuckman, is a really big into these films, and this is a really great one. It's a great film, not just for the anime genre, but a great film in general. And see, it won Best Picture, so definitely check. I picked up Safety Not Guaranteed on Blu-Ray, which is one of my favorite films, one of my favorite indie films from Colin Trevorrow. He did Jurassic World recently, and it stars like Aubrey Plaza, Mark Duplass, and Jake Johnson from New Girl, and from the producers of Little Miss Sunshine. Really good movie. You should definitely check that out. And Rear Window. The next all that are Hitchcock movies that I have. I've been trying to catch up on some of Hitchcock's older movies, and as a film fan, I feel like I'm obligated to, and I am looking forward to checking out this one. This one seems really interesting to me, and I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out. And recently, I picked up Finding Dory and Finding Nemo from the Disney Movie Club. I didn't own those, but I'm a big fan of Pixar's films. I grew up on those, so definitely worth having in the collection. Although, not my favorite. And Rear Window. The next all that are Hitchcock movies that I have. I've been trying to catch up on some of Hitchcock's older movies, and as a film fan, I feel like I'm obligated to, and I am looking forward to checking out this one. This one seems really interesting to me, and I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out. And recently, I picked up Finding Dory and Finding Nemo from the Disney Movie Club. I didn't own those, but I'm a big fan of Pixar's films. I grew up on those, so definitely worth having in the collection. Although, not my favorite. Also, we have Happy Death Day, a really surprising horror comedy from 2017. This was a film I did not expect much going in, but I ended up really enjoying it. It's not super scary, but it's a really fun time. And here's some guilty pleasures. Table 19. This film got a lot of hate. And yes, some of it deserves, but I think it's underrated. I think it's really charming. I really like the cast. So, yeah, definitely worth at least a one-time watch. Yeah. Baywatch. This is a huge guilty pleasure. Critically, I know this is a really bad movie from a critical standpoint, but I just have a lot of fun with it. It's dumb, stupid, fun. Yeah.